Eat.
All right, we're live on YouTube
Whoa.
and on Twitch.
All right. Here's a. Oh boy. You ready for an exciting show?
Something.
So much to talk about.
I'm almost ready.
All right.
I just wanted to pull up the restream chat. I like how it blurs out my mic right here, even though, it's right,
Yeah.
like right here.
Yeah. It's a funny story. Oh yeah, NPD. Didn't Xbox take NPD this time or something?
I haven't reported MPD shit in forever.
I know it's kind of
So
useless.
I know that aggravates some people, but fuck them. All right, I'm gonna start recording.
All right.
Somehow, this is how you start a podcast.
We're really good at intros, man.
Yeah, I like that's how I just made the intro. Is just calling it out. Like that's a podcast.
Yeah, just podcast intro.
Yeah.
Kind of
Welcome.
reminds me of
Insert podcast intro here.
Free Guy. I just
Yeah.
watched Free Guy not long ago. And there's the NPC that isn't complete yet and has all the like filler text.
Catchphrase here.
Yeah.
Catchphrase.
Be one of the best jokes in the movie. I absolutely love that joke.
I mean, catchphrase is kind of a cool catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's a great popcorn movie. It's not like, because we were talking about it the other night. Maybe an award here or there, I guess, for certain things, but it's not like
Special effects were good.
Yeah, it's not an amazing movie. But it's a great popcorn movie, just to sit down and have fun with, and not to think about the craziness of the world.
Uh-huh.
So if you haven't seen Free Guy, go watch it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. I want to see the other movie that just came out from, was it the same director? Ryan Reynolds in it? The Adam Project.
Yeah.
I have to watch that. I might watch that tomorrow. I heard it's really good. Seems like a cool little story too. The idea of a future version of him with the young, and then a past version as a child. Cool concept. Time travel. Got the whole Back to the Future thing going on. It has that vibe to it. Kind of just a fun time travel movie rather than a serious time travel movie. But yeah, it looks cool.
So I'm Dustin. Before we forget.
Oh,
That's
really?
Vern.
Yeah, I'm Vern. This is a podcast.
It is. It's something.
Yeah,
it's something.
The Let's Game Already gaming podcast.
Yeah,
right?
Please subscribe. Go to letsgamealready.com and check us out. Join our Discord.
Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube.
Subscribe on Audible. Because everywhere. I put us there. Yeah, Audible. I just think that's the funniest one because it's probably a podcast set that nobody goes to.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge Audible guy. I really am. I have like 170 books in Audible. Like I've bought I'm a huge like that's something I do a lot of. But I
Right.
never ever to do their like use their podcast part of the app
Right.
until I put our podcast up there, and you best believe I subscribed to me.
Nice. How many viewers for each episode have we got, or listeners have we gotten from
Oh,
Audible
and
specifically?
no, I
I bet.
can't tell you that. It
Uh,
doesn't break it down like that.
that would be cool to see if it was like one or two or none.
Yeah, it's me. So like we use Squarespace to host the podcast and for the
Uh-huh.
website. And I can check RSS subscribers. Let's see, what are we doing? Not the last 30 days. I know this is great content. People
This is
love
what
this
people listen
content.
for. They listen for the
They want to know
metrics.
how many
They
people.
want to
Yeah,
know the metrics.
we're about 2,500 subscribers right now. Happy with
Yeah.
that. It's a decent little chunk. I mean, we were higher back in the day, but we're rebuilding this network. That's all I'm saying. Rebuilding it in the
Without
podcast.
like, fancy graphics.
Yeah, but
Intro
yeah,
music, closing music.
yeah, we're making it happen. Making it happen. One day we might do. I don't know. Maybe an intro or something. Who knows?
Hell yeah. Maybe we can get Skins to do some artwork for us someday.
So things happened this week.
Not much actually.
A couple things did. We got Sony State of Play.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
a thing. It was
Do we have like a
boring.
rundown of
I mean, I'm
everything that
not
happened?
hating on it, but it was like it was. I know I didn't like. I wouldn't say I hated it. It was just kind of like, okay, I guess that. Yeah, I guess that's a game.
Here we go. I have a list of everything at the state of play. So exciting. Uh, let's see.
Tell me about it.
It started off with the dinosaur game, and I was like, "Holy shit! Is it Dino Crisis? No way!
No.
Are we getting Dino Crisis? Nope. We're getting four-player co-op first-person shooter killing dinosaurs with mech suits, right, or something." And it's called Exoprimal. And they even had a character with red hair, like in the original Dino Crisis, and it's still not Dino Crisis. It almost felt like Capcom was trolling us. People have been asking for Dino Crisis for a long time, so that was pretty annoying. Did you feel the same way, Dustin?
No, I just thought, hey, like even if we don't get Dino Crisis, we're getting this. Like it's there's no issue. Like I'm sorry. Like sometimes weird shit happens with
Yeah,
IPs, and you can't. You, there could be like some little issue with the fucking intro song or some shit, and they're like, well, it's just not doable. We can't do this
yeah,
game. And then they're just like, you know what? We could do a very similar game. We
yeah.
could do one that's
Like she even has the same bob haircut, the
that's what I'm
redhead.
saying.
Like, what the
They
hell?
kind of
I
know
mean,
what they're
like
doing.
the trailer looked fun. Like it's kind of cool the way they kind of pop out these like little black zones or something like that and all like fall from the sky and the mech suits look cool. I mean, it could be good, but I'm kind of four-player co-op out at this point. And then, is it first person or third person actually? I'm looking right now. I think it's third person.
I
Or
don't
maybe it
know.
switches
Fucking
back and forth.
look. All I
It's
know,
third. Yeah, it's third person, which is kind of nice, I guess.
they could do. I mean, I'm always down for a good co-op if it actually is good.
I mean, some of the set pieces look fun because it's kind of like what's that game? World War Z. The way how many things come out at once. Like it's tons of dinosaurs just all like climbing over each other and shooting out almost like, huge like rainbows of dinosaurs.
Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, it might be fun. And then after that, they showed another trailer for Ghostwire Tokyo, which I think looks awesome. I am excited about this game. I'm not going to buy it day one because I'm going to wait a year and play it on Game Pass, instead of spending money on it. Unless I just fold and I really want to play it. Like like I did with Deadloop. But this looks good. Do you know if it's gonna have an English translation for voices though?
No
Like an
idea.
English dub? Because every single trailer I've seen has been Japanese voices. So it makes me wonder if they're doing an English dub or not for it. Which kind of interesting if they don't go with one. I mean, maybe that's a artistic choice, but I mean, it looks cool. Artwork looks awesome for it. I don't know if you got to look at it, Dustin.
Mm-mm.
You're like, nope.
So, I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I love the way it looks. I love the animations for all the abilities because everything is done with signs, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
you see the hand do all sorts of cool stuff. All like what that? There's another game that's doing that. Avowed. Avowed is going to be doing that same kind of thing for the magic use. And I just think that's so cool. That's a good way to take a first person game and make it more interesting. When you see like first person animations, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know. It looks cool. It could be awful though. I mean, I haven't really completed a game from who's the developer of that? I forget. Tango Gameworks. They did Evil Within 1 and 2. I haven't finished a game from them, either one of those, so I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Then they followed up with everyone's favorite game, A Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. You know, did you play the demo yet, Tessa?
No.
Damn,
I'm
man.
gonna be honest. I'm not the biggest like JRPG fan of all time, so like none of the shit
Oh,
like
okay.
fucking. I don't care. I like the whole time I was bored. Like I won't lie.
You know, it's actually an interesting game. I played the demo from beginning to end, so and I kind of want to get the game now, but the dub is terrible. Like absolutely terrible. The trailer that everyone made fun of. I'm here to kill chaos. It really is like that the entire game. It's that bad. But if you can get past that, it's pretty fun, man. It's the game plays a lot like Neo, which is the Dark Souls game from Team Ninja that was exclusive to PlayStation
Mm-hmm.
4 and had got the remaster recently. So the gameplay is very similar to that. Though it's like kind of crazy with how much loot in the game. It's if you're into loot, this is definitely the game for you. And you're also not playing solo. There's two other characters that are in your party anytime, which is kind of goofy because there was four characters, but you can only play it three at a time. But I think there's going to be five eventually, or five or six like actual characters you play as. I'm not sure. But what's cool is how they apply the Final Fantasy job system that most people are familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with the job system, Dustin, in the
No.
Final Fantasy games.
Well,
Oh,
I
well
mean,
this
I,
started back in Final Fantasy 3 where like you pick a job and that's sort of like your class essentially
mm-hmm.
and you can change the job which changes the class. And that's how this is. They applied that in Final Fantasy what 3, 5, Blue Dragon had it as well. And then the two MMOs have the job system too, and you can have multiple jobs. And this is kind of like that too. You can have two jobs at once and immediately flip between one job to another job just by pressing the Y button or the triangle, whatever console you're playing it on. Um, which allows for some cool like multi-classing opportunities. It just gets a bit annoying with how much loot there is in the game. Because every time you pick up a piece of loot, you're changing, and it comes so fast. And then you have to change the loot for both jobs for your character. So you have to have a full set of armor and items for one job, and a full set of armor and items for another job. Same thing for each other character that's in your party. So the management gets a little annoying, but gameplay's fun and it's actually very accessible. It has three difficulty levels plus a like a story mode as well. So and it's Dark Souls like. So if you want to play a Dark Souls game, but you don't want to play Elden Ring because it's whooping your ass, and you're into JRPGs and you like Final Fantasy, it really could be the right game for you. It's pretty fun. The story though is terrible. The dialogue is absolutely atrocious. The cutscenes look nice. The graphics actually seem like they've been improved a little bit in the performance mode. So it's come a long way since that kind of embarrassing reveal back around the E3 time over the summer when it was first shown. But I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying it. I kind of want it. I just don't really want to spend $60 on it. Want it, you know? But when this drops in price, I'll probably pick it up and play through it. It lets you transfer your save from the demo to the main game too. So it's definitely worth just downloading the demo and seeing what you think. I liked it. I think it's fun. You might be into it too, Dustin. I don't know.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe. I mean, I have been playing. What's that game?
Tales from Arise.
Tales of Arise. Yeah.
Tales of Arise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and really digging that. So yeah, you never know. You never know.
And then after that, they showed Forspoken. You've seen that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I watched the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
I was paying
What'd you think of that one?
Boring.
Once again, JRPG, not into it.
It's just not. I mean, I'm not trying to be shitty about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay.
I thought it looked cool, man. I thought it looked so cool. I've been pretty into this game since it first got shown at the original PlayStation 5 reveal show. The mobility just looks like a lot of fun, and I'm a real sucker for that kind of thing in a video game. If I have fun just running around and jumping in a video game, I'll probably play it from beginning to end. No problem. I'll finish it because that's always been number one for me in a game. If I can enjoy just running around in the game, I'm gonna love it, and it seems like that's what this game is. I just hope the story's good, but the character designs and all the artwork looks freaking cool. So I'm down with that one. Then they showed Gundam Evolution. I do not care about that game. Don't care about Gundam.
I remember back in the day.
Uh-huh.
I know this is kind of a side thing about Gundam, but
yeah,
I think it was on PS2. There was a Gundam game that was kind of like half RPG, like half just like you're a robot in a city.
Right.
It was like it was the game that made me want to buy a PS2.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this around the time Gundam Wing was?
Yeah, like it was because it was. I don't know. Like it had like because remember on PS2, this was kind of new. You had the little person in the side of the screen talking to you the whole time.
Like Star Fox, yeah.
Yeah, it just did a great job at the whole bit, and it really that's what I wanted a PS2 for, was specifically Gundam. And then I finally got some Gundam games, and I was like, man, these are fucking garbage. Like,
yeah,
pretty much all of them. But I just remember that PS2 demo in Best Buy and getting was completely sold on the Gundam games.
Even the anime series, the Gundam shows really usually aren't that good. Every once in a while, a good one will come out,
Yeah.
But
I've always wanted, because when Robotech came out on Xbox, fucking sold, bought it, and even that was just kind of it's not fetch quest. It was too many fetch quests and guard this ship. And
you're into mech games, but you just haven't found a mech game you like.
Yeah, like the concept is awesome, and then Mech Assault, loved it.
That was
fucking great. Mech Assault was a ton of fun. That's why Titanfall was so cool. Like, there's something about mechs,
Perfect, man.
There's something cool about mechs, and if you could do it right, it would be amazing. I don't know why nobody's nailed that formula yet.
Titanfall almost did, I'd say.
It almost did.
There's no flying, though.
I'm just saying, if you take a very good Gundam Wing storyline and implant that into Titanfall and just put a fucking shader on it so it looks like an anime,
the BioWare game, Anthem, I think, did a great job with mechs as well, with those mech suits. As far as controls and stuff were concerned, it just everything else didn't work,
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to see a game like Titanfall as far as gameplay is concerned, but have those mechs fly.
Yeah.
That would, like mix Titanfall and Anthem. There's your game.
I'd be sold in a heartbeat. Like,
Yeah.
it would be fucking amazing. And it's kind of what I think, honestly, it's what most people want out of that type of game. They want that whole universe to work like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
yeah,
that's
I
a
think that.
lot of design though. That's a tough one, I think, to make.
I mean, I also want a Cowboy Bebop game, and that's as an RPG, like, that'd be fucking
Oh
amazing.
yeah, an MMO would be great too.
And by the way, I do not want to play. If anybody has any fucking idea of making this game, I do not want to play any of the main characters. I just want it to be set in the universe.
Yeah.
The Bebop can be its own fucking ship, its own thing.
Uh-huh.
It's just to be in the universe. You
we're
could
gonna
make
have to...
You got to make your own space cowboy. Like, you have to make your own characters with their
Yes.
own ship, and you could have your own crew. It would be great.
Yeah.
You do not have to be Spike. I love Spike, but I don't want to be that character.
We have to check out the tabletop game whenever that gets kickstarted.
I'm totally, yeah, I want to. That'll be an insta buy, like, right off the bat.
Well, what you're seeing now with some Kickstarters is if they get to like a certain bonus goal, they'll make a Foundry module for it. Mm-hmm. And if they did something like that for this, that would be freaking awesome. I think Blade Runner is going to have one this year too. And since that one's being done by Free League, they do Foundry modules too. So that would be awesome too. I don't know if you'd be into that.
No, that'd be dope.
That'd be fun to try, you know? But yeah, Cowboy Bebop for sure. We need to make that happen on this in this community for sure. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna drop, so we'll definitely be there to try it out.
I'll probably kickstart that one, man. Okay, let's see. Next they showed, which is probably the coolest game they showed, which was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be no. Let me rephrase this because I sounded like I was down. I wasn't paying attention to it, and instantly once I saw, I was like, oh, I got to go to the store to buy this. And it was like, it's coming out later, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it did feel like
there are a bunch of fucking ROMs. Like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing new in this collection. Why am I waiting for this? Just take my money. Like, I'm willing to pay for it. Like, right here and now.
Well, the main stuff, it's got a bunch of extras, like using imagery, let's see, from the original cartoons, comics, media content. There's a museum, with all sorts of info about the different games. So I'm assuming that's what's taking the extra time, is making that whole front end and having all the extra stuff. But outside of that, I mean, the game, it's a bunch. It's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, the first NES game, the second NES game, which is the arcade game, but the NES version, the third NES game, we got Tournament Fighters, Turtles in Time, the Super Nintendo version, Tournament Fighters, Super Nintendo version, Hyperstone Heist, which was the Sega Genesis, like, arcade-style game exclusive. You got the Sega Genesis Tournament Fighters, and then the 3 Game Boy games as well. So it's a pretty cool collection. I think most people are going to be playing it for the arcade games.
Yeah.
For
I
original and Turtles in Time. And I gotta say, the Genesis, like, what was it called? The Hyperstone Heist. That is a cool game that people forget about. It's very similar to the arcade games, but it's its own story and own separate game. It's not anything like the other ones in the sense that, I mean, it's the same kind of game, but it's.
And I'll say the only other thing I really want out of it, and I know this is so niche, and I wanted to download it right away. I wanted to give you my money and download this, but I wanted to have arcade stick support.
Oh, dude! If it
I
has
will be
arcade
so
stick support,
disappointed if it doesn't.
I'll
still play it, but if it does, that brings it, like, if this shit's like B, it becomes
that's right, huh?
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Like, just to be able to hit you in a front. I would buy 2 more arcade sticks. It's gonna have online
co-op support too, so.
I want it to have arcade support.
Yeah.
It needs to have arcade stick support. Please. It's so stupid, but that's the game that would work.
Have it for that kind of thing?
like Pac-Man CE2 does not support, but Pac-Man
Oh,
CE1 does. So
oh, that's
Championship
goofy.
Edition for the first one, best
I
way to
wonder if
play
that
it.
new Pac-Man game that's coming to Game Pass is going to have it.
I hope so.
Because that looked pretty cool. That's kind of similar to this Turtles thing with the new
Yeah.
Pac-Man game, you know? It's a whole bunch of different Pac-Mans. That looks fun. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm curious, has it gone on pre-order? Do we know how much it's going to cost? I haven't seen anything like that. I'm going to guess it's going to be 20 or 30 bucks though.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm fine with paying that myself. Like I have no,
yeah.
that's fine.
After that, we saw some game called Giga Bash. It's a kaiju brawler with like monsters and big monsters like Godzilla type thing. I don't know, not my kind of thing. Look kind of like filler. We also saw a trailer for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All Star Battle R remake, which is a All Star Battle R, which is a remake of the 2013 fighting game JoJo Bizarre Adventure All Star Battle. Don't care. They showed Trek to Yomi. Did you see that one? That was the black and white samurai side
Yeah, that
scroller.
looked cool.
That looked pretty cool. I think we're gonna see more of that on that Xbox ID at Xbox thing that's coming up this week. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. The next thing they announced was Returnal Ascension, which I'm actually pretty excited about. They're adding co-op to Returnal. So I don't know if you've played Returnal, Dustin, or if you have it.
I have not, but
Yeah.
that might push me over the, especially
Y-
since Jason
You
and I
should,
both have
yeah. If you get
PlayStation
it,
5s now.
I'd like to co-op that with you,
Yeah,
or I might co-op with Gideon or something like
yeah.
that. But
It'll probably, yeah. I mean, how
that
much
seems like
has it gone down in price at all, or is it still
it's been
70?
on sale a bunch of times for like $37, $38. So,
If I see it on
um,
sale, I might pick it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes on sale on the day this releases. You know, that seems like the kind of thing that they do to drum
Jason's
up
still
more
been really
sales.
digging into Gran Turismo because
Uh huh.
he spent.
Is he liking it?
Yeah, he likes it a lot. I mean, there's issues, but he likes it a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's he ended up buying. So we've had our racing wheel for a while, you know,
Uh huh.
and instead of buying a new racing wheel with a steering wheel and the base and everything, we just bought the modular part that hooks up to the Xbox or the PlayStation. So for like
Right.
150 bucks. So we
So you can
still
use it on
use
everything.
everything else and it just still plugs right into it and it just hooks up to the PlayStation and it works great.
So that works for PC, Xbox,
Yeah.
PlayStation, whenever you.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
have
nice.
two different rigs now essentially
Uh
and they
huh.
both can hook up to PC, but you know, because of Sony and Microsoft, you have to have the Xbox one or the PlayStation one to work on
Yeah,
the specific console.
that's annoying.
Yeah, but it's whatever. At least
Yeah.
there was a cheaper way around it
Right,
to
right.
getting it.
Okay, then they closed with two Japanese exclusives from Square Enix because I mean, at this point, Sony may as well own Square Enix. They announced the Diofield Chronicle,
But
which
that's
is
also
like
coming to Xbox.
it is.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought that one was exclusive. It's Valkyrie Elysium that's exclusive, right?
I believe so, but
Yeah. So
the
so
other
Diofield
ones are
Chronicle comes to Xbox. Okay.
I put them in the notes. What's the other one? Exoprimal is also on Xbox Series consoles.
Yes.
Uh Diofield is on Xbox
Okay.
and
I'm gonna guess Valkyrie Elysium is not.
yeah, PS5, PS4 and PC according to the headline.
Yeah.
So,
The
yeah.
Diofield Chronicles looks to be like a Final Fantasy Tactics type game. But it just looked like garbage, man. The artwork was bad. The character models looked bad. The 2D artwork looks good. Like that looks good, but the actual texture work looks rough and I don't know. Didn't look like anything I'd be interested in. I'm honestly, I don't really love strategy RPGs. Um, I played a ton of Shining Force back in the day, and ever since that, I just feel like they've all kind of rehashed that whole genre to be the same every time, and it just doesn't hook me. I know people love Fire Emblem. Maria is a huge fan of Fire Emblem, but even that one didn't get me going. So, Gears Tactics also same issue. XCOM, same issue. I just have a hard time getting into them. But even that said, this game does not look good to me. I don't know what you thought of it.
Looks whatever.
And then they closed with Valkyrie Elysium, which is the third installment of the Valkyrie series. First one came out, I want to say, on the original PlayStation. Second one came out on the PSP, and it's been dormant ever since. So it's kind of a big deal that they brought this franchise back. That said, it once again does not look good. I don't know, man. Square Enix, they're not doing well. Their stuff doesn't look good. The games as a service stuff is all failing. Like, I think Sony's gonna acquire them any day now, right?
I don't know.
Maybe the price has to be pretty low. Yeah, but I don't see Microsoft.
Oh no, it's more likely Sony.
They wouldn't.
Is anybody going to buy it? It's probably going to be Sony.
It's going to be Sony, man.
But I'm hoping for Microsoft. I'd like to see them have more Japanese games under their belt.
Yeah, of course. But I would like to see anyone acquire them at this point because they're being managed so poorly, and they have these great IPs and good developers and good artists, and it feels like they're spreading themselves thin. Why work on these two games at the same time as the Final Fantasy remake, same time as the MMOs, same time as Stranger of Paradise? Like, even though I know it's a Team Ninja working on that, it really just seems like
I can't believe I'm saying I have no faith in Team Ninja. Like,
yeah. But all that said,
they've been so midi-core.
Outside of that, though, like it just feels like Square Enix is making so many games, and they could probably cut their games down by like half, but make them good. It seems like their expectations are very high for what their games should sell, and they never meet it. And they haven't managed the the Western studios very well either, with Crystal Dynamics and was it Eidos Montreal? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm pretty down on Square Enix lately. And then, for instance, like the Pixel remasters of the Final Fantasy series, those are on PC and mobile only. Why aren't those on Xbox? Why aren't those on PlayStation? Why aren't those on Switch? I don't get it. They're making just the dumbest decisions. Like, why isn't there like a big collection of Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remaster to purchase, with interviews and of the original creators, and a cool little music section, with all the remastered tracks, and a museum with original artwork from Amano, and like they could make the coolest package. They could sell that for $60,
Yeah.
And make a lot of money off of it. And they continuously make the worst decisions, and it upsets me because I love the company, but I know you don't really care too much. You're not the RPG fan, so.
I mean, every now and then I get grabbed.
Yeah.
For the most part, nah. Oh no, it's like it's just too formulaic in a lot of those games where it's just.
Oh yeah.
They beat the same bush over and over and over.
Well, yeah. Kind of like anime. You watch a few and then you're like, oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah. I mean, talk about fucking anime has gotten terrible with it lately. Like, it's been really bad.
Yeah.
But that's why you see all this condensing with Sony between Crunchyroll and Funimation, is they really are just going, yeah, it's time to, no, this doesn't sell, this isn't. Yeah. Sony's actually doing a lot, in my opinion, doing some good things there. And I know some people would probably massively disagree, but they're getting, like, Funimation really fucked up the industry.
Right.
And now that they have Crunchyroll, hopefully it's for the, now that they have both, hopefully it's for the better. Because I don't know if y'all had noticed, but it's like they bought Crunchyroll, and then that moment on, it was like, oh, this announcement, it's going to be the president of Crunchyroll that makes this announcement.
They started shifting.
All the Funimation people were like, yeah, you're not announcing shit anymore. Like, when we merge these two, if I was on Crunchyroll, I wouldn't worry about my resume as much as if I was on Funimation side, where it's like,
Why? Why do you think they chose Crunchyroll? You think it's a more powerful brand?
no, Funimation has a lot of. They started going after people for politics, like voice actors and shit like that. Like, there's a
Okay.
lot of negative like connotations behind the name of Funimation
Yeah, they
now.
have a lot of they have a lot
Yeah.
of baggage.
So it's just like, fuck it. They're just dumping it. Where it's just like the name, 5 years ago, the name wasn't spoiled. If
Yeah,
anything, there was a better name. But now,
that's what I was thinking.
Crunchyroll is the
Yeah,
better name.
a Funimation app seems like it's better though.
It is. That's the one big disappointment is the.
So hopefully the people who worked on that, they can get them to redo the Crunchyroll app and work on it.
Yeah.
You know.
If anything, just reskin, change the fucking name on the Funimation app and just put the Crunchyroll logo on it and call it a day. Because, yeah, I prefer, I prefer Funimation's app. Because I signed up for a month of Crunchyroll, like when they merged all this shit, and they were like, hey, here's like.
Did they raise the price?
I think they are. I know I subscribed at $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
Is what it came into.
Yeah.
And it was, I believe, because the funny thing on the app it says $7.99 a month, but when I subscribed to it, it was $9.99. And I don't know if that's because I chose a higher tier or what, but yeah, it was definitely a different price on the app than it was on their website. All right.
All right.
Do we have any other news?
Oh, we didn't put it in there, but apparently, who was it? Not the studio head, but was it one of the lead designers on Perfect Dark left
Oh yeah, the designer or
the
whatever it was.
initiative, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a bummer.
I haven't seen anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think I read that this morning. Yeah, the director, the game director of Perfect Dark, Dan, I guess Neuberger, left his position at the initiative. So, and that's after what's his name left as well. The one who was the lead designer or lead co-designer on Sunset Overdrive, who's at Insomniac now. So they've been losing some of their big talent. It got me worried. I guess that explains why they started the um, partnership with Crystal Dynamics, though, to kind of get things going. So that maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but you see that and it gets you a little worried. Same thing happened with Halo Infinite, though, and that turned out all right, even though I'm pretty down on Halo Infinite lately for the multiplayer updates. They're not doing very well with that. Hopefully this next season kicks things off in a good way, you know?
Yeah, we talk. Well, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Like, they delayed the game a year, and it still feels like the maps are just so. It's so scarce to get a new map. Like,
Uh-huh.
they're releasing arguably one map for each. I'm gonna put it this way because this is more realistic. So they got two modes. They got big team battle. They got kind of your
Arena.
regular multi arena, and they're releasing one map each because
Yeah.
that's honestly what it is. In it's not enough.
Big team battle, one map, great.
Yeah,
Because it's big. It's a big map, you know?
yeah,
So if each
a lot
update
more work.
if each update a new big team battle map comes out, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But it
Arena
should be at
modes?
like a 2-to-1,
I want
3-to-1
3 to
situation.
4.
A two to
Yeah, I
one,
want
three to
3
one
to
at least.
Yeah. I want 3 or 4 new maps each update when it comes to Arena. At least 3. At least 2. At least 2. Come on, you know?
Because if it was 2-to-1, it's 3 maps every 3 or 4 months. I get that's a lot in some sense, but no, it's not even every 3 or 4 months because their shit's like a 6-month cycle.
This one, the first
Yeah,
one. I don't know if
yeah.
it's going to be like that always, but currently it is, yeah.
That's the only data I got, so that's what we're going with. That shit is a 6-month cycle. So yeah, like 3-to-1. I should for every big team battle map, I should get 3 arena maps. Fairly
Yeah,
enough.
I agree. You know?
If it's every
So,
3 months, I could see 2-1.
That said, the events have been good. Like I've
Yeah.
really enjoyed the little weekly events that they pop in every couple of weeks. I've been making sure to complete every one of those because there's really cool armor pieces and stuff that come with them. So, and those are free. Those don't have anything to do with the battle pass. Now the battle pass, like I had burned through that so fast, man. Like it feels like, come on, it's time. We need another battle pass. Um, and I don't think the answer is necessarily making the battle pass slower. I think the answer is keeping it the same speed, but letting you go past 100, kind of like what they do with Fortnite. In Fortnite, you get to 100, then after that, there's a bunch of like battle pass bonus stuff, which are like different colored versions of the skins. And I
Yeah.
think that would be a really cool way to extend the battle pass. And I'd love to see them do something like that. Because then, you get to 100, you're like, yay, oh wait, there's all this other cool stuff. So it makes you want to keep playing. And um, I think that game's in a funk, man. It's in trouble. I really do think it's in trouble at this point. But I really hope they come through. But maybe did they just maybe they hold out for a while and then the next big like story expansion has a really big multiplayer drop with it and then everything takes off and then we get faster development. But
Yeah.
it seems like Sea of Thieves does so much better with this kind of shit compared to Halo,
They
And
do,
that's a
but
smaller team.
they talk about Sea of Thieves. I played the latest update. I don't care still.
I think you're just tired of Sea of Thieves, Dustin. You played it
Yeah.
a lot. You
Yeah,
played it a lot.
I'm not feeling it.
If you played Sea of Thieves for 100 hours instead of 1,000 hours, you might feel a little bit different about the new content.
I don't know. Like I sat there and I was like, do I want to go around looking for these? Because they added these events in the world
Yeah, the small forts or
that
whatever,
are
right?
that are for solo players, where you can really go in there without help of other people and just kind of knock something out. And that's awesome. But there's not enough new in the world.
Right. We need new enemies. We need new types of ships. We need new types of like. We need new sea monsters. Why do we not
We
have
need
like a?
sea monsters and we need new islands. Like
Yeah.
we need a map expansion.
Uh huh.
That's
With a
honestly at this
theme
point,
too.
yeah. Like, how have we not done the fucking Arctic? Like,
Yeah,
how?
that's
Like,
the
you
next
do it on the other
obvious thing
side of the map
on the west
from
side.
the
Yeah.
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 You just do the Arctic.
Yeah.
People would
Yeah.
love it, and you could have like all kinds of crazy snow pirate monsters. Like, I don't know, like
It'd be fun for Christmas time too.
yeah. How do you not have that yet? And then you
Yeah.
could have a storm that just kind of blows through and makes the game
Blizzards.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Blizzards. It could
it
even
makes
move
sense.
it could even like make it harder to move like through the blizzards. Kind of how like the in the
I
fire
think
section you have the earthquakes
I
and the
think you
ice, it
do
could be
it
the
double the
blizzards.
size,
Uh-huh.
and all the islands are not islands; they're
They're ice.
glaciers.
Yeah, and then you're
That
sliding all
don't
over
and
them
they
and
don't
stuff.
move like drastically, but they move on the map.
Yeah, and make you get like snowshoes or something like that
Yes.
to be able to move better on them or so that you can have like a new interactive item.
Well, I just think like having something where you don't have like this is the map location. Like everything moves a little bit, and like the maps actually
Yeah.
the glaciers slowly move up and down the map.
And maybe they could even make you wear like warm clothing or something like
Yeah.
that gives you a debuff in movement or something. You know how
Yeah.
how Rare works. They like to give you like a new tool that helps you but also has a weakness to it.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And they like to do the realism thing, like moving the snakes, you had to play the music to get them to shut up and things
Yeah.
like that. Like
There
that's
could be
that's how
something.
they Rare likes to make things annoying in the best most fun way possible. You know? And I'd like to see them do that with a snow or ice or whatever or Arctic expansion, whatever you want to call it. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
It's what I want. It's what I want to see. Sadly, I don't think we're going to see it.
Yeah. Or Sky of Thieves.
Because I feel like I feel like they are aiming for Sea of Thieves 2 now. Like, I don't see the production behind it.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that they are moving on. And that's not a bad thing.
Or they're moving those developers over to Everwild
Yeah,
to get that game out, or whatever else they're working on.
because I really enjoyed the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion to it. I thought it was
I
great.
still have to finish it. I only finished the first
Yeah,
episode. We'll have to.
yeah. We have to.
Are
Hey,
you off
you looking
tomorrow?
for? Nah, I work. I'm off Wednesdays. The next day I'm
Okay,
off.
Wednesday. Wednesday we should play.
Well, we might stream it. Who knows? Screw it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do
Well,
it.
I know we were looking for a game to stream.
Yeah,
Screw
I
it.
don't know if that's the right one, but
Eh,
it's a start.
it's something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. How have people been okay streaming that content?
What do you mean?
It's Disney, so I'm always worried streaming anything Disney.
Oh, well, yeah, but they don't have all the Disney music in it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
it
no,
should be.
they don't have the movie music in it. They have the
Yeah.
Disney ride music. So I don't know if
Yeah. I
that
know.
will
Yeah.
cause an
It's a
issue.
weird. It's a
It,
weird issue,
it
but
could.
Microsoft did kind of say you can stream all their games. Like they're the ones that put that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe
Mhm.
do CC. I've already played through them every map 5 times, so I'm like,
Right. All right. So other stuff to talk about. Oh, this is from NPD. Elden Ring is the second biggest launch for any game in the last 12 months in the US, only behind Call of Duty Vanguard. Not just that though. Apparently its
I'm
sales
sorry.
were
I'll be right back.
yeah, its sales were so big in only 1 month that it has already surpassed the lifetime sales of Battlefield 2042, which is now on sale for fire sale for like $29.99. Gosh, uh, it passed lifetime sales of Battlefield 2042, Far Cry 6, and Resident Evil Village in revenue. Is that all combined? I don't know. Whatever. Elden Ring's really popular, y'all. I don't know if y'all played it. It's really good. Um, that's all anyone I'm talking to online is playing. Like, hey, what are you up to? Oh, I'm playing Elden Ring. What are you up to? Oh, I'm playing Elden Ring. And the best part about it is if you're in party chat with someone who's playing Elden Ring, maybe at least once or twice every minute, or maybe once every couple minutes, you'll hear someone say something like, "Holy shit!" or "Oh, what the hell is that?" or "Oh, I totally dodged!" And they're just freaking out. And it does not sound like people who are playing Elden Ring are having fun. Yet everyone you talk to who plays Elden Ring talks about how much fun they're having. But anyway, yeah, Elden Ring, big sales. And I guess we can talk. Oh, yeah. We have one last thing we can talk about. Let me pull this up. Oh, right. Let's see. Did you want to talk about Elden Ring at all, Dustin?
Not really. I haven't put time into it.
Yeah, I was just saying how it's funny how with Elden Ring, if you play with anyone who's played Elden Ring in party chat, like every maybe once or twice a minute, you hear someone
Oh,
scream
I'm
about
never
how
going to play
awful
this
something
fucking
is.
game. I'm gonna stop. Oh, if I could get a refund.
Or like, what the fuck? Oh, what is that? You know, like people responding to the character designs or an enemy popping out of nowhere and killing them, or it's just funny. All right, last thing to talk about. The Xbox is planning for an E3 style show in June. I think it was it Jeff Grubb who said that?
I
Yeah, it
believe
was
so.
Jeff Grubb. Jeff Grubb. So
It sounds
he
about
said
right.
he said I'll
Yeah.
probably have more on this soon, but it's in June, not May. Well, they might do something in May or September. I don't know, but I know they're planning an E3 style show in June. They're
Didn't
talking
we
to
talk about?
partners.
I was gonna say, didn't we talk about this on the last podcast that it'd be smart for them to do a Starfield show all by itself, or was that just?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Or maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think it'd be smart in May to have a
Just
blowout for
Starfield.
Starfield, like
Yeah.
because it's supposed to come out this year, and we've seen one very
Or maybe they do that in
CGI-ish.
September. You know, maybe at the June show they do not necessarily a teaser, but like a 2 minute, 2.5 minute trailer that shows off just a tiny bit of gameplay and a good idea of what the game's going to be, and then says, come back in August or September, and we're gonna do a complete blowout of the game, like a big, like 30-minute, 45-minute special,
Yeah.
um, telling you everything there is to know about Starfield, because that could be cool too, you know. Or say join us for the Bethesda showcase in September, where we put a spotlight on Starfield. Or because there's really not that much for. I mean, Redfall, right, is the only
Yeah.
other big Bethesda thing, and maybe Elder Scrolls Online expansion. They also have the Fallout 76, The Pit, I think.
Yeah, that's coming out too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But with those two games being Sony exclusives, both Deathloop, which already came out, and Ghostwire Tokyo, it's like it kind of messes up what they can do. Because if those games were coming to Xbox and not PlayStation, well, then they could do a full Bethesda. They could have done, a full Bethesda type showcase where, hey, look at all this stuff, Um, I guess Quake is in the works. Indiana Jones is in the works, probably. Um, so there's stuff they can show, but might be better for its own thing.
Do we see Deathloop drop on Xbox this year, or do you think that's a 2-year
Yeah,
deal?
it'll be this year. It was a year exclusivity, so
Okay.
it should come out in September. Should come out in September. I don't know if they'll add anything for it or if it's just going to be the same game. If they're smart, they should maybe do some kind of expansion or some kind of special thing with the release to kind of drum up some hype for it, in my opinion. Maybe a new mode, even. I don't know. But other than that, yeah, not that much happened this week. Just the state of the play and then the announcement that we're going to get an E3 show, which everyone kind of expected. So
Yeah, I mean, do you? Because E3 technically is dead, right?
I
It's
think
just
they're
people.
it's being called an online event, E3 online again.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure how many people are gonna. I think the idea is for all these publishers to just release some kind of video around the same time in first week, second week of June. So that's what they'll do. I'm assuming Microsoft will do it again on that same Sunday that they always do it every year in June.
yeah.
What it'll probably be. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be on the 12th, June 12th. Seems to be when they'll do stuff like that. Um, Square Enix will probably do something. Sony won't. They haven't been doing it around that same time anymore. I don't think we see much from Activision Blizzard. Um, I'm not sure who else would do it then. Ubisoft might do something at the same time like they did last year. But Ubisoft broke it up into two events last time, which was really weird.
Yeah.
And then maybe Devolver. Doesn't Devolver always do like some stupid show? Um Oh, and I think Electronic Arts EA didn't do it last year at the same time either. So E3 is kind of dead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be down about it, but it's.
And Bethesda always had their really cool showcase around E3, and that's kind of gone now. So, um, by the way, the Bethesda showcase that I went to back when I went to E3 in 2019, that was by far the most fun show. Even though Xbox E3 was the best show, the Bethesda event was really, really fun, man. And the reason was because they had a lot of free booze and food. So everyone was just like drunk and shouting and having a great time. That's the way to make those things fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Smart.
I
And plus
mean,
they had a lot of the
makes
stuff
sense.
outdoors and they had the food carts and just tons of booze and it felt like a party, It was fun. It was really fun. So I'd be nice if they could get back to that again someday. And maybe we're almost there. I mean, COVID numbers are getting pretty low now. A lot of the mask restrictions are being reduced. All that stuff being taken off. We're seeing a lot of even like the vaccine stuff being reversed.
Yeah.
So whether that's good or bad, that's up to you, the listeners. But it sounds like hopefully we'll be in a situation where we can start having these like live events again, which I think would be wonderful because they're a lot of fun. But yeah, that's the news that matters to us
Yeah.
and only us.
Yeah, apparently.
What you been playing, Dustin?
What have I been playing? Tales of Arise.
Uh-huh.
I've been enjoying that, and I've been I've been bitching out on it. Like I'm not like playing it. I'm playing it for the story because I wanted like a decent like kind of anime-ish game, and
Uh-huh.
it's nailing it. I like all the amount of dialogue I get, but my difficulty mode is story, and I have it on autoplay. So that shit is just like, yeah, I go up to a boss. I mean, I still got to set up the characters so that they're not morons,
Uh-huh.
but for the most part, it allows me to play it without putting a ton of effort into actually, am I getting good at combat or not? I can just kind of let it, yeah, go forth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going up against the fire boss. Let me put, I'm gonna take off the extra hits and put it just fire damage reduction. Like that makes more
Right.
sense for you. And then just like, okay, have at it. I'll watch.
Isn't it kind of awesome though that you play for like 5 or 6 hours, then finally the opening credits happen?
Yeah, because we were talking about it. And you were like, where you at? And I'm like, oh, I just got she got her outfit. You're like, oh, you're still kind of early. And it's like, actually, that's kind of right at that point where you go out to do you get your you hit the title sequence. Like it's not too far off. But yeah, that's I'm about like 15, 20 minutes after that. Like so.
Yeah, it's
I want
pretty
to dig
late.
back into it.
It's a lot of time in the game
Yeah.
before you get to that. Like you can do a lot of stuff before the opening credits sequence happens. And I think the music's awesome in that game. I love it. It just feels so anime, you know? It feels like you're playing an anime, that game, in the best way possible. The characters are good, the story's good, the artwork's great. It runs really nicely at high res, with a good frame rate. I mean, it's just a quality JRPG. I need to get back to it. I'd like to finish that game. You been playing anything else?
I'm trying to think if I have. I went out drinking yesterday. Did that. That
Yeah,
was
so you
fun.
played some drinking games?
Yeah. Liar's Dice. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if
I
you've
never
ever
played
played.
Liar's Dice. How do you play Liar's Dice?
So you have 4 people,
Uh-huh.
and everybody has 5 dice, and everybody has a cup with dice, and you roll. You shuffle and look under and see what your roll are. So let's say I have a 6, a 2, and like 3 ones or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I can go, hey, I have it's more like saying there are 5 ones on the table. And as long as there's 5 or more, it's like, okay, so like if somebody says, bullshit, I don't believe you, Dustin, you don't have that.
Uh-huh.
And then we all uncover our dice. And as long as there's 5 or more ones on the table, because that's what I claimed, then I kind of win. And then we just keep moving.
Right.
While if let's say I was totally bluffing it, and because I only have 3 ones, and they call me out, and they say bullshit, I lose a dice. Or they could say spot on, and let's say there are 5 dice, and then they gain a dice,
Right.
and everybody loses a dice. So it's a fun, and then you just like keeps going in a circle.
And how much
So
drinking is involved?
as much as you want. The issue with Liar's Dice is it's kind of loud just because everybody is putting a bunch of dice in a cup and slamming it on not shuffling. What is it? Rolling dice.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fun little game. It's cool because it's not very complicated. It's just a simple little dice game that you can sit there and play and have a good time with.
Uh-huh.
And there's not much setup, It's a cup and 5 dice, and once
I
you know
wonder
the
if
basic rules.
I wonder if a developer's ever released an online drinking game that tells you when to drink, or if that would cause some legal issues.
Well, as long as you don't say what to drink, I don't think you have an issue. Because you can play any drinking game with soda
I feel
or
like
water.
there's a. Could you imagine if Jackbox did a drinking game release? of like 4 or 5 games that were all designed to be drinking games.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? But though I'm just wondering if they could be liable for like
I'm sorry. I
drinking
gotta
too
turn off.
much.
Twitter is deciding I need notifications for a bunch of shit I don't care about.
Yeah.
So I
But I
gotta
think
turn that off.
there's got to be a market for that, you know? Anything else or about it, huh?
For me, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Or no, I tried Dying Light 2
Uh-huh.
with the patch.
Yeah.
The one like it's fluctuates between like 80. I know some people were saying I'd say 80, 90 frames per
This is the
second.
120 mode, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the fucking sky and don't have anything, it's like 115 or whatever. But it's 80 to 90, and let me tell you, it's way better to play it that way. Like
Yeah.
that's enjoy. Yeah,
What
it
about
feels good.
how's the 60 hertz mode? They increase the resolution, right? To
Yes, the
1440p or
balance
something?
mode is 1260 or something. It's over 1080, but it's good. It's solid.
I think that's how I'd play it, just to have the little bit higher resolution, you know?
But let me tell you, they allow you to turn off the motion blur, and I didn't turn it all the way off, but I turned the one setting off and turned it down to like 15% motion blur. Way better. I don't.
Yeah.
I know some people like, oh, I want to turn it all the way off. It's like, yeah, a little motion blur's fine. But what
Motion
they
blur is
had,
great if you're playing at 30 frames per second.
even theirs with 30, it was rough. Like they had so much motion blur in that game. I know you haven't played it. It was
No.
awful.
I just mean in
Like,
general. I like motion
yeah,
blur in 30 frames per second games, but not once I hit 60 and up, really.
I think like 5% motion blur at 16. Like
Yeah.
there's for the
Just
little bit of
enough.
effect. Like you
Yeah.
just need a tiny bit of it for the effect, and it's fine. It's good. But anything beyond that is kind of pointless.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I did that, and then I turned the dead zone down to 4, and I brought the speed of the cursor up to 14. And let me tell you, it feels like a different game. It feels like a
Uh-huh.
game where you're supposed to be, I don't know, parkour like the entire fucking time, and not because the 30 mode feels like frames. It is just like,
Right.
ugh, no, this is not how this game was. You can't tell me this is how this was meant to be played. This is awful,
Right.
and it's so much better as a
Is it a direct sequel to the first game? Like, do you need to play the first game to understand what's going on in the second game?
no.
Can you just pick it up and play it?
Yep.
And it's 4-player co-op, right?
I I'd have to look into it. I'm not 100% sure.
That'd be a good game for us to stream too, you know?
Yeah.
Or like I said, some kind of cool board game or something that's been converted to
Yeah, well, if y'all have any
PC.
ideas, let us know.
Mm-hmm. Something
So we're
else to
definitely
play.
looking. We're
Because we're
looking
probably
around
we're not gonna be playing this Wednesday night
the
for
table.
D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But we'll be back the next Wednesday. So what have I been playing? Halo. So the new event came out, so I wanted to get all that armor and cool stuff, and I did get all of it, and that was pretty fun. The actual new mode wasn't really a new mode; it's just Tactical Slayer. But instead of using battle rifles, they added 2 other versions of Tactical Slayer where you could either use the Mangler or the pistol, which is it's fun, but I don't know. Didn't make it much. Didn't make it too fresh, honestly. And like I said, that game just needs content. It needs so much content, and it feels like it's not getting any. But at least it's still fun to play. And then I played the Stranger of Paradise demo I talked about earlier, which I actually had a lot of fun with, and I am tempted to get that game, but not spend $60. Um, and then I did get a new game, RPG Time: The Legend of Right. Have you heard of this one yet, Dustin?
No.
I don't know why it's not being advertised. This game is fantastic. It should be on Game Pass. It's one of those games that would have been great for Game Pass. It's a Japanese developer named Deskworks. And the translation, based on the translation, you wouldn't even know it was a Japanese developer. You know, it feels really good. Um, it's essentially the character. I guess the way you're playing it is you're sitting at a desk. I'm assuming either like during class or right before or after class or something is the idea. And on the desk, it has like a little bell, and it's got all the UI built on the desk. And then at the center of the desk is a notebook, and then you open the notebook, and it's all sketch work. So it's like this kind of RPG that's done all in black and white sketch, like and hand drawn animations, and the art style is absolutely like gorgeous. It is a gorgeous game. It is so cool. And I think it was like $24.99, $29.99. I don't know how much it cost, but I would suggest. I don't want to say too much more about it because it would kind of spoil it. But you kind of mix in and out of all these different gameplay styles, and I mean, a lot of the time it really is just walking. It's not like you don't have to be like super responsive with your controls to finish a lot of the parts of the game. It's more about exploration and figuring out how to get to point A from point A to point B. Um, but the story's fun because it's like a kid coming up with it as you play, and he's got his little eraser, so he
Hmm.
can immediately change what's going on the scene at any time and say, "Oh no, it was actually this," or "No, it
Yeah.
was actually this," and everything's being like retconned all the time. So it has this really fun vibe to it. The way it's framed, and I wasn't expecting it to like it as much as I have. I got it. What was it, yesterday or 2 nights ago? I don't remember. And then I must have played it for like 3.5, 4 hours straight. I couldn't put it down, and I'm ready to get back to it again today. It's a whole lot of fun. From what I hear, like if you just kind of go straight through the story mode, it's about 10 or 11 hours. But if you try to do all the mini games, it can get over 20 hours, 24 hours, or something like that. So there's a lot of gameplay in it for the cost. Like I said, the artwork is beautiful. Um, it's a it's a good package. I think it's a good package. I think it's worth picking up, at least from what I've played so far. And I don't know why it hasn't been advertised. It's a Japanese game, That's something Xbox is lacking in the first place. It's an exclusive.
Excuse me.
It's an exclusive right now. I
Mm.
don't know when it's going to come to PlayStation, but I don't understand why people aren't talking about this game. It hasn't even really been reviewed yet, and it's been out for like 3 or 4 days. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it it should be played, and people should be talking about
Okay.
it.
It
And that's
should
about it for me.
be played. So that's what I hear. Should be played.
Yeah,
Oh
there's still
man.
only one review up for it. One review.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I don't know what's going on. Um, Outside of that, I think that's really all I played. So I haven't played a ton.
Yeah, I was looking. I mean, I played around at Battlefield 2042.
Uh huh.
And yeah, it's
That's
still
on
Battlefield.
sale,
Yeah,
like for half off or something. So not
we'll
gonna
see
get it
how
though,
they
because I hate
upgrade it.
Battlefield.
Yeah,
They need to make it free to play. Put it right on Game Pass Ultimate, on EA
yeah.
Play.
It's eventually
Uh,
gonna happen.
Other than that, we had our second session of Icewind Dale: Rime of the Frost Maiden on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was
Thought that
fun.
was fun. We ended up going about 3 hours again, trying to keep it shorter than that, but you get going, and it's
Yeah.
hard to stop, you know. But we're talking about maybe doing like some recaps of it, or at least like a little short podcast talking about what happened, and there's a way to like.
Like I wouldn't want to make that show like 3 hours either because
No,
I want
that
to
would be
make
like a
it
half
like
hour, 45-minute
yeah.
thing, yeah.
I want a quick recap for people that
And just people to
yeah
reminisce and say, "Hey, remember when this happened?" Or "Yeah,
yeah
when this happened," and kind of get people ready for the next episode
yeah,
and what they want to do. And it would be helpful for me too, because I could get some feedback from players to
yeah.
try to either improve things or know where I want things to go. Because I mean, we're already getting pretty damn off rails. I don't know if y'all noticed yet, but I guess y'all wouldn't notice, but we're so much more off rails than I expected right now. So this is keeping me on my toes,
Look,
which is always fun.
things had to happen. A lot of things
Oh
had to
man.
happen.
Well, it was like the whole when Sepha Caltru, when y'all killed him, and then he killed, not killed but downed Riley's character, that just set everything off in a completely different way than I thought, you
Yeah.
know? Because I mean, y'all were there to know that he at least shouldn't be in Targos. Y'all heard that much, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah.
Right. Um, I thought, he'll be alive after this, and he'll be like, "Hey guys, we probably shouldn't go to Targos," But that just didn't happen. That didn't
Yeah.
happen at all. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is gonna mess everything up." So like, yeah, I changed up a lot. I changed up a
Yeah.
lot. I moved the quest from somewhere else into the Targos just so like it can make sense, and that's gonna change everything now. And I have all these ideas for where I want the story to go that'll, I think, make things a whole lot better and a whole lot more meaningful for the characters. So I'm really excited about where we're gonna go in the next episodes, in the next session. So I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, that'd be the kind of stuff that'd be fun to talk about in the in another podcast, or at least just like a little 30-minute, 45-minute kind of get together, and it'd be a way for all us players to bond, because all the
Yeah.
people in the D&D session right now, we don't really know each other too well outside of the
The session
games,
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'm excited. So we won't be playing this Wednesday. It'll be the next Wednesday after.
We're gonna have something for Wednesday. It's either gonna be no, I think it's gonna be end up being a recap for
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah.
Um,
But that's where I think streaming some games would be a good time to
yeah.
fill in, or playing like a board game that's been converted to PC,
Yeah.
that can be done in one long session or something. That'd be a way to fill in those Wednesdays, but have it still be kind of in the style of a tabletop game, or maybe even do a one shot at some point. I think that'd be fun. Do you want to talk about any anime, TV shows?
Let's see. I've been watching The Strongest Age with the Weakest Crest. That's been pretty good. And they started
Yeah.
releasing the dub for that, so that's pretty awesome. Man. No, you know what? And I know this is more of a romantic comedy kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, but Upload. I enjoyed this Upload,
What is
the
Upload?
Amazon show. It's about a guy that when you die. Okay, so let's say you're dying. They're able to upload your consciousness into a computer, and this guy was murdered because he was going to make the software for upload essentially uh, free for people to use, is kind of the premise of the first season.
Okay.
And he was murdered for trying to do that. Spoilers, I
Oh.
guess. I don't know. Let's hack. Yeah. But yeah, like it's the idea of you have these people, when you die, you can get uploaded into a computer system, but the issue is everything's a microtransaction. Like
Right.
it's capitalism in the afterlife. So you're not allowed to work. So it's all about
Uh-huh.
your family members giving you money to kind of survive. So if you're a billionaire, you're fine. You just have like an endless supply of whatever.
Right.
But you have these people that only have 2 gigabytes worth of data a month, and then they just freeze
Oh
because their
gosh.
processing power just stops. And
Uh-huh.
then every month they pop back up, and
But
like
there's still
it's
sentient life.
yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's a weird thing. I mean,
that
it's
seems
a
to be a thing right now with that
yeah,
and Severance, right?
yeah. Severance is that show. Still can't talk about it without spoiling it.
Quit
So
podcasting. Let's game already. Get on with it. You're probably right. That was who's Gabit House 99. Our one viewer right now.
yeah, we'll get there eventually. One day we'll
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we're in game. Come on.
Yeah,
Gamers.
tabletop. That's
but
where we game on the table. But yeah,
so you watched that?
that's it.
What did I watch? Oh, I watched Love is Blind, Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. I suggest it. It's good. Yeah. Fun. It's good to watch. It's very different than I don't know if any of you are familiar with Love is Blind. It's a really trashy show, essentially, on Netflix, where they put like, a big bunch of men and a big bunch of women in a group, and they have them all like meet in these pods where they can't see each other, and they go on like these speed dates essentially early on to get to know all these different people and see if they find a match. And then after that, they go on longer dates, but they never see each other the entire time through the first portion. And then they decide to propose. And then once they actually like propose and the other person says yes, then they finally meet each other. And then they have to live together for 3 weeks. And then after that, they decide if they actually are going to get married. So it's pretty dramatic. But the the US version, I don't know, it felt a little trashy, whereas the Japanese version feels so wholesome because the US people, they're all like flirting and talking about lewd stuff and whereas the Japanese people, they get in the rooms together and they have like their spreadsheets and their notebooks. They're like, so are you good at this? Are you bad at this? How neat are you? How dirty are you as far as, cleaning your home? Do you like to cook? Do you not like to cook? How many hours a day do you work? How often are you home? Do you like pets? It's like they come up with these really long checklists of all the stuff. So that way they make sure they get their perfect match. And then when they meet each other, they barely even hug. It's all so it's all it just feels so wholesome in the best way possible. you know so I really enjoyed it. It's a good show, and they ended up getting a couple pretty decent matches from the show. So if you're into those stupid like reality shows, I would, and you like Japanese culture, which a lot of gamers do, I think it would be kind of a fun show to watch that kind of crosses with the kind of people that would listen to the show, honestly. So yeah, it's a good little show. I enjoyed watching it with the wife. So yeah, that's
Cool.
about all I've been up to. Anything else you want to talk about, or you feel we
Yeah, I think we've stretched this one out now.
someday we'll get a
I
letter,
wish
maybe?
maybe some actual more gaming news will come in.
Oh yeah,
It's just a
like
bad time of year for gaming news. That's all. Like
it's a good time of the year for actual games. It's
yeah,
just not a good time for actual gaming news, because I mean, we had a lot of bangers release really
yeah.
quickly, you know. You had Dying Light 2, Horizon, Elden Ring, get the Stranger of Paradise coming out, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I got to get back to
This
Horizon 2.
uh-huh.
I was kind of half hoping they'd release like an update to help fix the visuals a little bit, just
I'm
to
sure they
help with
will.
image quality. So I don't know if I want to hold off or if I
Dude,
want
the
to just
first game
dive
it
into
got
it.
so many patches and so many
Yeah,
improvements. Like the first game's really worth playing now with the 60 frames per second mode and everything.
yeah.
So that's in good shape. So I imagine they'll put the time and effort into getting the sequel up to snuff. Just might take a year.
But I might change the name of the podcast. I'm thinking
So what?
just for this person. No, just putting like crossing out game and put talk in there. Let's talk already.
Or let's podcast already.
Yeah,
As he said, quit podcasting.
it's game already. I feel you. But I like our name, but I get the irony of us talking about TV shows with the name. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. So please, if you enjoyed our content, subscribe on everywhere. And if
Well,
you
especially.
on Audible, especially because that's just
Yeah,
funny to
yeah.
me.
We really want to ramp up those Audible subscriptions.
Yeah,
That's very important to us.
yeah. And I'm not even paid by Audible, but if they want to pay me, I will be happy enough. Even if it's just I get my 2 books a month for free, I'd be down.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
will.
like a plan.
It's only a $15 a month thing for a shout out Audible. That's all I'm saying. Or no, it's 22 a month for 2 books. That's what I'm paying. But yeah, subscribe to Audible, I guess. But you can also join our Discord. You can get those links on letsgamealready.com. But until next week, y'all take it easy, be safe, and fight the good fight, I guess.
Play games.
Play games. Peace out, everybody.
Later.
And thank you, Gabe, for hanging out with us and listening to the podcast. That's
I
right.
thought it said Gabit House, but it's Gabe at House.
Yeah.
Or Gabith House. Gabithus.
Gabit's house 99.
Ga-
I'm gonna think Gabit is It's a like Dragon Ball Z character. Sounds about right.
Yeah, it could be
Gubby.
Gabe at House though.
Yeah. Gab Eat House.
Or Gab Eat House, yes.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be making fun of your
I
username.
like that one the best.
But we will catch you later, Gab. Gabe. Got beat.